power to negotiate and extend the superintendent's contract.
I move to appoint you, Dr. McIrvin, to negotiate and extend the superintendent's contract.
Great. Thank you.
Hopefully you will do this.
I'm happy to do it.
I second.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Thank you. And now we will move into our second public comment period. And again, when your name is called, please come to the microphone and state your name for the record prior to making comments. Each speaker will be allowed up to 3 minutes. Board president may end an individual statement when the allotted time has passed and may interrupt a speaker to require the same standard of civility that the board imposes on itself. And again, any written public comments may be emailed to board.public.comment@rentonschools.us. First up, we have Anthony Perez.
All right. Good evening. My name is Anthony Perez. I recently moved to Renton. I'm getting on to, I think, 2 years now. My partner and I moved here because of the diversity and inclusion and the strong sense of community, like we see here. Now, I'm here about the Renton High School expansion. While I support safe, modern learning environments, I strongly oppose using our bond dollars to expand the high school at the expense of our community. And here's why. I have 4 points here. So the one is displacement of homes and businesses. You're going to hear same numbers, and I want to make sure that you understand that and that, we don't take this lightly. So demolishing 32 homes and 8 businesses fractures neighborhoods, ties, and displaces families who've invested years, sometimes decades, into Renton. 2, squandering recent investments. As you heard earlier, just last year, taxpayers funded an $11.5 million modernization of the Science Center, and now we plan to demolish that very facility, wasting resources and betraying public trust. 3, redundant athletic facilities. You propose a second football field when there's one less than half a mile away. And 4, silent decisions and unheard communities. People are already pissed off that the federal government is going rogue and making decisions without their input and best interest. Imagine knowing something similar is going on in their backyard. If the district sent me a notice tomorrow saying I must leave, I would fight to the very end. And that's why I'm here. On Thursday, you will vote on condemning only a handful of homes left. I urge you, halt this plan. Honor the commitments you made to voters, safe, modern schools, not mass demolitions and displacements, and choose transparency over secrecy. Don't condemn these homes. When you force a Rentonite out, you're sending a warning to every neighbor. None of us are safe. Thank you for listening.
Next is Margaret Perez Brower. Yes.
Hi, my name is Margaret Perez Brower, and I'm making a comment on the Renton High School expansion project. I'm a homeowner in South Renton, and I'm also a professor of political science at the University of Washington. I received a master's degree in higher education from the University of Michigan and a PhD in political science from the University of Chicago. I've consulted with public schools in Medford, Massachusetts to help embed curriculum across social studies, English, language arts that empower young people to get involved in community engagement and activism. I also have published several articles on pedagogical approaches to support student learning that builds efficacy and agency. I share this history with you because I want to communicate that I am deeply invested in the education of young people, especially young people in Renton. I mean, my heart melted listening to the seniors up here talk about their school. And I am all for giving them resources, and especially resources for librarians. I want to echo that. And I do support the 2022 referendum to provide more funding for students but I strongly oppose the expansion project. What a horrible example the school board has set for its students, that people in our community are disposable for the sake of a plan that only adds marginal value to the educational experiences of RHS students. This is not justifiable for displacing people from 32 homes, forcing treasured local businesses like El Kiosco to relocate, and ending a development plan to provide much-needed housing with the Dreamliner apartments. You are modeling to RHS students that people in this community are disposable, and I'm here to tell you that they're not. You are using your discretionary power to implement an expansion project that we did not vote for or support, and I urge you not to condemn the remaining, I think, one home now, but it was supposed to be 4 tomorrow. It's admirable that in spite of bullying, coercion, and no real efforts to work with them on an alternative plan, that these community members have remained persistently strong in holding on to their homes. Today, I stand with them because when you displace one of us, you displace all of us. This sets a precedent for removing Rentonites from their homes for plans that don't have full community buy-in and do not reflect the voting interests of residents. In this particularly precarious political moment, with a volatile economy, high mortgage interest rates, instability in inflation, and the soaring prices of goods, I'm asking that you do the right thing, that you don't condemn these homes, and then most importantly, that you reevaluate this project with full community engagement and buy-in. I am so incredibly supportive of education and young people and giving more resources to RHS to improve the educational experiences and their safety, but not like this and not under this leadership. If pride, tradition, and excellence truly are the core principles of this school, as I heard from the students, then I do not believe that this plan aligns with those values. Please make the right decision. Don't condemn these homes. And please take a moment to reevaluate the plan and bring in real community members to give them buy-in. Because if you move forward with this plan, I will not forget it, and we will make sure everyone in this community remembers what you did and holds you accountable. And if other folks today want to join us in our cause, we have an online petition. You should feel free to see me afterwards if you want to sign it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Meredith Farmer.
Hello, good evening. Thanks for the opportunity to speak. I want to first thank everybody for coming out and sharing your concerns tonight, whether it's about the librarians. I did not know that we were cutting librarian services, and that's really sad. So I always appreciate the opportunity to be educated by folks who come out to share their concerns. So thank you for that. I don't have anything else to add about the Renton High School expansion other than I am here to add my voice to the chorus of everybody who's unhappy with how this project has played out. I heard the Renton High School students tonight, speaking about their aspirations, and I heard you all asking them to come back to the community. And why would they want to come back to a community that is now being taken away from the residents? This is not the way to do it. And I think that we're asking for your help because you all have the power and we don't. And we're not asking you to stop the work on the high school. We're just asking you to reconsider the plan and reconsider what we can do to save housing at a time where we're desperate for housing and preserve what we can and still move forward with increasing, the services that we have for the kids. So thank you for listening.
Thank you. Next is Albert Engel.
Hello, my name is Albert Engel. I'm a homeowner here in South Renton, and I have the privilege of teaching a lot of your students at South Seattle College. A lot of our students come from Tukwila and Renton, and it's a wonderful thing I get to do. I teach engineering specifically, and I tell you this because it's important to what I'm here to talk about. As an engineering instructor, I talk about the lasting impacts of design decisions on the built community and the disparate negative effects that it has on poor communities, especially communities of color. I speak of the power and the obligation that engineers, city planners, other designers, and government officials like yourselves wield in creating a built environment that serves us all. So I'm here to speak about, and I'm here to urge you to stop the downtown, to stop the eminent domain of these homes and businesses for the high school expansion project. The plan to eminent domain 32 homes and businesses in the downtown neighborhood has a direct effect on the affordability and livability of our neighborhood. It sets a dangerous precedent for the local government that I can no longer ignore. Destroying homes and a Latino-owned business like El Kiosco to expand athletic fields for a high school so close to Memorial Stadium, and replacing a building after multiple million-dollar retrofit projects, including one as soon as like last year. It's gross misuse of the taxpayer dollars that were entrusted to your care as the school board. And I urge you to reevaluate this process, find other alternatives, and ensure that you have community-wide buy-in for this project. Do not take homes to expand a sports field. I ask you to do your duty as elected officials to help ensure and build a community that serves all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Jada Campbell.
Good evening. My name is Jada Campbell. I am a South Renton homeowner. While I support the ballot initiative to provide safe, modern facilities to enhance learning, I strongly oppose how the school board is using these funds to expand Renton High School. I do not support your plan to demolish 32 single-family homes and 8 businesses, displacing our fellow Rentonites from our community, demolishing the Science Center remodeled in 2024 that Renton taxpayers paid $11.5 million for, and constructing a redundant football field when there's one less than half a mile away. When I was in high school, a STEM program changed the course of my life. It opened my eyes to possibilities I had never imagined. A degree in computer science at Johns Hopkins University, a career in the tech industry at Microsoft, and a sense that I belonged in spaces that I, as a Black woman, was never expected to enter. For students of color at Renton High, the Science Center represents more than a building. It's a sense to see themselves in science and medicine and engineering. To demolish that space is to deny those students the same shot that I was given. Athletics matter, sure, but they cannot come at the cost of academic equity and community stability. I beg of you to consider what you're telling these students, mostly children of color, much like the outstanding seniors that I saw earlier tonight, that their new science center, their new opportunity will be demolished in favor of playing ball. You're going forward with an expansion project we did not vote for or support. We voted for a new facility or for improved infrastructure, not for wasteful spending for marginal improvement in athletics. Today, I urge you not to condemn the remaining 4 homes, or apparently 1, on Thursday. Today, I stand with them because when you displace one of us, you displace all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Harris Melick.
Hello, everyone. My name is Horace, and I am a homeowner in South Renton. I remember when I got the ballot for the expansion, or at the time, the purchase of a new site. And I read it, and I was happy. I read through it. I loved what it was entailing for the students, a new opportunity, a new campus, something beautiful. I thought, of course, everyone would support this. And then I never heard anything. Years passed. Fast forward to just a little while ago, I was driving and saw the board up homes. And I saw 1 and 2, and then I thought, what's going on? Why are these homes like this? And I looked into it. And then I read about the changes from a new site to an expansion, taking people's homes from out under them to expand. And I wanted to give the benefit of the doubt. I wanted to say, there's got to be a good reason. And then I see the plans, and it's just expansions of fields. Renton Memorial is right there. It's literally half a mile away. There's no reason for this. It's not practical. It doesn't make sense. And it's a lie, a blatant lie to what we voted for. If you had put on the ballot that you want to demolish 32 homes for a field, I wouldn't have voted for that. I don't know anyone who would. I I feel betrayed as a voter. I feel betrayed as a resident, and I feel ignored, undervalued, and cut out of the conversation. I feel like this is a misappropriation of funds, and I can echo the numbers, the wasteful spending, all of these aspects, but ultimately, I just feel betrayed and lied to. I feel cut out from my own community. I moved here in 2021 and I loved Renton. And I just think, what if I bought one of those homes instead? What if within a year of moving here, someone told me I had to leave Renton? I couldn't get another home. I don't know where I would go, what I would do. And with everything going on in the world, pulling their homes from them is laughably, comically evil. It's a lie, it's a betrayal, it's a displacement of Rentonites. I I I condemn this, and I ask you to condemn this. And I don't know what can be done. I know it's very late in the process, but I hope you do something. I hope that you make your voices known because we all spent hours of our time to be here to say that this is wrong. And if a ballot went out today, everyone would be saying that. And I ask that you echo our voices because you represent us. When you displace one of us, you displace all of us. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next is Dominic Williams.
Good evening. I am a student at Albert Talley High, the Albert Talley High School, and I come to talk about the Renton High School expansion. I'm not here to chastise you because I can understand that everything you do for me as a student. You do for Renton High School. I saw these amazing seniors, people I hope to be one day, I guess next year. But what I do see is people being displaced from their homes. People, 32 single family homes and 8 businesses for a couple of fields, which I can understand. But if we're talking about people that need fields, my school has never had an updated field. My school has not been given the funding that Renton High School has. And if we're talking about equity, and a presentation I've heard from Matt was that the students feel like they weren't equal, that they were not treated the same or they had a smaller campus. That could be the exact same for my school. And if we're giving 400 million, I may have got that number wrong, to build some fields, where is the funding for other schools that have not had the same rights, same equality? And I prepared a speech today to talk about all the things that I've heard from this initiative, but I decided I just want to talk to you as people and reach your humanity on with everything that's happening in the world. I want to go into political science and for some reason want to be a politician. And right now, displacing people that they don't know where they're going to go. They don't know how they're going to afford a home. From what I've heard in my generation, I won't be able to afford a house. It'll be nearly impossible. These people we have heard at our meetings have lived there for 50 years. Veterans that are on veteran income taking care of their families, and displacing them for a high school field in my head doesn't make sense. And I'm sure there are facts that I don't know. I'm sure there's some things that you guys are doing, and I know it's all for our students and our education. I know that everyone here is here to help our students. But when we take away these houses and we, for my view, misuse funds, specifically to take away librarians like my librarian, Ms. Huff, that really hurts me as a student. And I know you guys are supposed to be here for me, but right now I don't feel heard. And Renton High School students that I've spoken to are shocked to hear what's going to happen. Specifically, I know everyone's mentioned El Kiosco. That's a staple in our community, and that brings our community together. And when we break it apart and we take those businesses and those homes, what is our community of Renton going to be? What are our students going to feel when they come up and be their outstanding seniors? Thank you.
Thank you. Last is Juliana Dobble.
Thank you, members of the board, Superintendent Patnod, Juliana Dobble. Listening to the folks here tonight, a couple words are just ringing in my head, and so I've been writing comments about these words: restorative and transformative justice. This is the only way forward. It's easy to hide behind information that the public, parents, educators do not know for you to ignore their concerns. It's easy to hide behind our ignorance. But the fact that the cuts are not a thing our community is aware of speaks volumes of our district having apparently no desire to be part of our real community. As a union leader and educator, it's hard work educating people who are experiencing the crisis of capitalism about these complex processes and rules that we've set for ourselves. To do that democratically, it takes time. It is hard. It's aging me. You are not equipped to do that. That's not your fault. It's the way our electoral system is designed, but restorative and transformative justice is the only way forward. The impossible decision to find a site to rebuild Renton High School, that intersects with economic inequality because housing justice is ignored in our democratic system. Elected leaders in late-stage capitalism are expected to solve problems that are legit unsolvable. The scale of wealth inequality is absurd. Our brains can't understand it. So tax justice is a thing. The cuts to our incredible librarians, our facilitators, our mentors, our assistant principals, our CTE tech analysis and Amani, behavior interventionists, HR, all of these things are impossible for us to understand. And the question is, how are we going to foster community? If it's all we can do to build up a society that cares for people, I ask you today, the impacts of the cuts are something we need to contend with as a community. They're not yours to solve. They are ours to solve. I bottom lined a rally in Olympia today. And because of brave activists willing to sit in Governor Ferguson's office, we got to talk to the chief of staff. And I threw down and forced him to consider that the cuts to our incredible educators mean that kids who have suicide ideation are going to fall through the cracks. These cuts are literally potentially going to end lives. We gave you an immigrant protection resolution, and I'm asking you now, have you read it? And how are you going to respond? You are the front line of democracy, and we are right now civilly letting you know that we care far more for our kids than we do for the system that got us here. When a deep blue state like Washington is threatening even more cuts because billionaires are not paying their taxes, know that we are going to use our power to make sure that parents are meaningfully engaged and educators are valued. I believe that RSD admin and the board care deeply, but you are all stuck in a hierarchical system of power where you think that because you've been elected or because you have a degree and power and a huge salary, that your power will last. It won't. Our power is our labor. So please lean into what we are desperately asking for, because asks turn into demands. And when they're ignored, demands turn into something else. Right now, REA is bargaining and we are making incredible progress, but your power does not lie in your election. Your real power is to solve problems and let us show up. Restorative and transformative justice. Under a fascist federal government, you are still the front line of democracy. You can radically accept that fact and use it to improve the fabric of the people in Renton. Or you can continue on status quo, listen tonight, go home, ignore us. We're not going away. Last thing to the eloquent young man, there's a huge difference between leaders and politicians. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you all for coming out this evening. We have heard you. We do take you seriously, and we do work with the superintendent to address the issues that come forward. So thank you for spending your evening with us. I know it's a lot. Okay. We do not have executive session. Oh, I'm sorry. I almost missed information and proposals. Director Teal.
Thank you. Going back in the calendar since we only met once in April. At the end of March, we had our WASDA regional meeting here at the school and hosted other school districts here, and had some great catering from Hazen High School. So that was definitely a highlight. And also participated in a Renton Promise meeting, and then got to hear Matt's presentation on CBAC earlier. So thank you.
I also attended the WASDA meeting here at Keck. I attended a RITSI meeting, the technology committee here, and I got to visit McKnight and Nelson Middle Schools and Satori last week. Got to get inside and see what's going on in there. And I attended the Spirit of Hazen program last week too. So yeah, it was good.
Very nice. Since our last board meeting, I also attended the WASDA regional meeting that was here. Great food. I also attended the Citizens Bond Oversight Committee meeting. I had several King County District Directors Association meetings, KCDA meetings. I attended a Renton Rotary meeting, and I also got to visit Nelson and Sartori with Director Talley last week. So it was great to be in the buildings.
All right, I had continued WASDA Legislative Committee work, the WASDA Regional Meeting, the RITSI meeting, and the Renton Schools Foundation work.
I don't have anything to report. Since the last board meeting, I attended two Renton Rotary meetings, the WASDA regional meeting, and thank you again to the Hazen Culinary team for catering that evening. I attended the student symposium hosted by Vicki Blakeney and the student support system. Actually, Mr. Williams was there as well. We had a brief conversation at Renton Community Center. Spirit of the Highlander, I met with a representative from the Family First Community Center, and today I attended the Puget Sound Educational Service District Regional Superintendent's meeting. And to Ms. Dauble's point around budget, still a lot of concern around the watering down of some of the financial investments that at least the Senate had made initially. And so it has not been a very fruitful legislative session. The MSOCs and the material supplies and operating pieces, as well as on special ed, those seems fairly set, but again, far lower than what was initially proposed. Nothing on transportation in terms of the big three. There are some conversations around the levy lid, and so opportunities for districts. But again, there's conversation about that furthering inequities between districts throughout our region and state. And then finally, today I also had a Northwest Regional Data Center Executive Committee meeting.
Very good. Thank you. Like I said, we don't have exec session, so I'm going to call us adjourned at 9:12 p.m. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.